Hey there guys, welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. It's late. This might be the latest live show I've ever done, but it's Saturday and we just got a brand new Batman trailer. So if ever there was a time to go late with the live show, today is the day. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me late. If you guys are vampires like me and you're afraid of the sunlight and you take comfort in the darkness, well, we're in this together. But yeah, we just got a brand new Batman trailer a few hours ago. I instantaneously did a cartwheel, a backflip, ran up here into my office, shot a reaction and a breakdown video where I talked all about the trailer. I gave my thoughts on it. And I have plenty of more to give because there's some things I missed when I was doing that video. I did it so quickly, and I posted it on the Flick Pick channel. So if you want to see my full breakdown of the brand new The Batman trailer, go over to the Flick Pick channel, watch it. It's a good time. It's like 11 minutes long. So anyway, guys, if you guys have any questions, thoughts, I want to hear what you guys thought about the new trailer. And there's so much other DC news going on right now. It feels like DC finally got their shit together. And they're going the right direction they should have always went in the first place. But now they're finally doing it. It might be about 5 years past due, but they're doing it. And that's good news. We got some first looks at the new Suicide Squad trailer directed by James Gunn. Everything I see from that looks phenomenal. And the thing I enjoy most about that is King Shark. He looks like a shark, a big CG shark. And that's a phenomenal thing. I thought they were going to try to like humanize King Shark a little bit, make him smaller, like what they did with Killer Croc and David Ayer's Suicide Squad. But no, he's like 10 feet tall and he's a big CG shark. I like sharks. But yeah, and I want to talk more about the Batman trailer, and then also we got Zack Snyder's Snyder cut of the Justice League trailer. I liked the trailer. It feels like we sort of, I don't want to be negative, but it feels like we sort of saw every new money shot that they're going to have to offer. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on with that. You know, worst case scenario with the Snyder cut of Justice League, even if it's okay, like it's not that great. My thing is, as long as it's better than the Joss Whedon butchered cut, if it just improves it just ever so slightly, then it was all worth it. That's my opinion. And it looks like it's going to be a much better film. And the tone is definitely darker. We'll put it that way. So yeah, let's just dive into the questions, talk about some stuff. Once again, it is late. I didn't even plan on doing this until like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, let's dive into the questions. I saw a few here already, and I'm going to try to get to them. Here we go. Here's one. Brian Nevin, vibe that is set in the Joker universe, huge fan. Well, thanks, Brian. Vibe set in the Joker universe. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it definitely has a very grounded to reality universe with Gotham. And I've been saying this for a while now, and some people disagree, and even the director of the Joker and some other people, producers behind the film The Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix, They went out and said, oh, it's not attached to the new Batman film. I believe Matt Reeves said that. But I think if I was a smart person working at Warner Brothers, I would leave it open. I would leave enough room to possibly leave things open to, like, it would be not the best business move to completely close off one universe to the other for the sake of just doing it. Why would you ever do that? Why? So to leave it open, it would make the most sense to me. So yeah, I've been saying this since the Joker came out. The new Batman film is so grounded in reality that it could exist in that Joker universe, and Joker could exist in this new Batman universe. You know, leave the possibility open for Joaquin Phoenix to show up in one of the Robert Pattinson Batman movie sequels as an older Joker. If he's 60 plus years old, that's fine. You put some prosthetics on him, cake some makeup on his face. I would love to see an older version of Joker pop up in one of the Robert Pattinson Batman sequels. That would be great. And it's so interconnected that they could do that. It just feels like that was the plan all along, but they don't want to officially say that because they don't know the success of either film. So it only makes sense to deny those conspiracy theories. But I'm with you. I think it's in the same universe. That we'll leave it there. All right. As you guys can tell, I'm a little bit excited, or maybe I have too much caffeine in my system. I don't know. The next one comes from Landon Lee. John, all I got to say is that's the best freaking thing I've been waiting to see. This is the Batman I've dreamed of. Oh yeah, when he's like, I'm vengeance. Oh yes. And the great thing about that trailer, first of all, the tone was Seven meets a Batman film. If you told me this trailer was directed by David Fincher, I would believe you. I really would. And plus, speaking of Fincher, doesn't it look like Riddler? He looks like the Zodiac killer from the film Zodiac, even though that's based on real life events. But it looks like the Zodiac killer in another Fincher film. So that's fine by me. So many great sequences and scenes in that teaser trailer. That was the perfect trailer for the upcoming Batman film. It defined the tone. It didn't tell you too much, but now you're ultra excited, or at least I am. I want to see the movie. I knew it was going to be a well-crafted film, but that is how you make a fucking trailer. Yes, please. The next one comes from Max Neugebauer. Robert Pattinson has been my man since his great and underrated performance as Edward Cullen. I would completely disagree with you on that, but I would say I became a fan of Robert Pattinson once I saw the film Good Time. I would say that was the first time I watched a film of his, and I thought, he's not just a sparkling vampire. He has screen presence and acting ability. So the next one comes from Brevins Flicks and Games. Hey, John, I'm sorry I missed you last week. I was busy at work. Well, you are forgiven. The Batman trailer looks great, but I'm crossing my fingers on the movie, though. I think we're going to have a solid movie. I really do. I mean, just the tone alone is everything I've wanted. If this isn't a Batman film that's rated R, which they're saying it's rumored to be rated R, it's going to be pretty damn close to it. You know, it's going to be a hard PG-13 film that hopefully pushes the limits. And I think it's time that we finally just got a Batman film like that. I think it's time. I think studios have finally woken up and said, you know what? If we just give the fans what they want and we don't wash everything down, maybe, well, just maybe, we'll make more money with our films if we give people what they want, the people who are paying to see these movies. So it's phenomenal. It's a good day to be alive. Ricardo Franco. Hey, Ricardo, how's it going? What's up, John? Assuming it's going to be PG-13, how dark do you think it can get? Well, that's a great question that completely connects to what we just said. I think it will be PG-13. I do. Because is it necessary to show blood, guts, and gore and nudity in the Batman film? Not really. You know, as long as you keep that vibe dark and eerie, you don't necessarily need to show everything to have a compelling story. So I think it will be PG-13. I think they're going to push the limits. And the great thing about it is, once again, it does look like Seven. And the greatest thing is, if you have a story that's sort of based on the Long Halloween with the Riddler in it, you need something thrilling and dark to really give you that suspense when you watch a film like this. And the tone is just perfect. It's everything it needs to be. So thanks for the question, Ricardo. And thank you for the super chat. That was very generous of you. I wish I could give you a hug and a high five right now, but I can't. But one day. Thank you for that, man. The next one comes from Manny650. I think Shia LaBeouf would be amazing as Wolverine. I got that same question last week, and it upset me deeply now as it did last week. I don't know why you're saying that, and I don't know if you're serious. But I'm going to completely disagree with you with every fiber of my being on that one. I just couldn't watch that. And I wanted to see the new Shia LaBeouf film directed by David Ayer, the Tax Collector, which got mediocre reviews and no one's really talking about it like 5 days after it comes out. But I sort of do want to watch it. I'll savor the flavor and watch it one rainy night. And by the way, another film I need to watch is Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe, which I got a special digital screener to. I wanted a press screening to actually go to the theater and watch it, but there were none in my area, so they were kind enough to send me a digital review copy of it. So I got to watch that. I think it expires tomorrow. I don't know if I want to look at bloated Russell Crowe driving around in a car for an hour and a half, or maybe I do. Actually, I do. I just lied. I do want to see that. The next one comes from Linda Blair. Thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Say K K-Fee Zombie, Drive My Car and Scream. K-Fee Zombie? I don't know what the reference is to. Then again, I'm so out of the loop, I don't know. All right, the next one, Levi Fisher. I'm vengeance. I'm the night. In the Nick Cage voice. I'm a vampire. All right, I will do it just for you. Due to your generous super chat, I can do that. I am vengeance. I am night. What's in the bag? A shark or something? I hope that fulfilled your dreams. All right, the next one comes from Patrick John. Hey, John, this is a nice surprise. I hope you're doing good, man. I watched Tenet yesterday. I won't say anything, though. The Batman looks sick. The movie looks so dark. It might as well be I'm black. It might as well be in black and white. Yeah, it definitely does look like a 1970s gritty film noir movie directed by like some art house director or something. It's the perfect vibe. You know, I said this in my breakdown, but I feel like with every new incarnation of a Batman film, you have to change the tone to separate it from what we had previously. And I've always been a fan of like an ultra realistic Batman. You know, that's the one character that I feel like that works best with. You couldn't do something like that with, you know, Captain America or Iron Man or something along those lines. But with Batman, he's a dude. He doesn't have superpowers. He lives in a dirty, gritty city. You know, he's a vigilante. And I feel like any film with like a vigilante scouring the dark streets of Gotham, it should be super grounded and so I love it. I love the ultra realistic take on it, and it does look like a 1970s film. Like it reminds me a little bit of like Taxi Driver, and the same thing goes with the Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix in it. So that's never a bad tone to have for your film. I can't wait for it. But you're absolutely right. I could watch it in black and white, and it'd probably be phenomenal. The next one comes from Night King 01. I hope for fantastical elements in the new Batman film in terms of other villains. I love the realism, but some more fantastical elements would be cool. I get what you're saying, but you know, for me, fantastical elements don't belong in a Batman film. That's the one, like I said, it's the one character, that's the one film. It's just leave it grounded, right? There's nothing wrong with making, you know, paying tribute and making the real life tones from the comic books come to life, but how fantastical do you want to go? Do you want to have like Mr. Freeze shooting a ray gun with ice shooting out of it? That doesn't belong in this universe. So it just really depends. The one thing I forgot to mention in my video, and I don't even know how I did it, and it took me a few viewings to even notice it, but Colin Farrell is the Joker. Or I'm sorry, I completely just butchered everything I was going to say. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. It took me 2 viewings of the trailer to figure out that it was him. Like they put some prosthetics on him to make him look a little heavier. He has some scarring, and he definitely has the penguin nose. And I completely forgot to mention that in my my trailer breakdown. So I'm sorry. But yeah, he looks good as the Penguin. You only see a few shots of his face, but it looks like the Penguin to me. I just don't know how. I don't know. There's other shots of him in the film where he doesn't look quite as bloated, but I don't know. I wonder how he gained so much weight instantaneously in the film. Maybe he disappears for 5 years and shows up. I don't know. But yeah, that was another little thing I really liked about the trailer. Dominikian Scott, it's DC time to fly. They are right on target. I don't know why it was so hard for me to read that, but it was. Once again, it's getting super late. And thank you guys for all 443 of you joining me right now. Holy shit. I didn't think that many people would join this late at night, but once again, we're all vampires and take comfort in that. We're in this together. So grab your caffeine, your popcorn, and let's keep talking about movies. Ask as many questions as you possibly want to, because I have nothing better to do, and sleep is for the weak and the innocent. But yeah, DC's getting it right. They really are. They finally are getting it right. And you know what? That's okay. Because what happened was Marvel had their time. They got to shine. They blew their load with Infinity War and Endgame. And now it's DC's time to step up, because there's almost less competition. And if ever they were going to be successful, now's the time. Well, if movie theaters open back up and they can make the money and recoup all the profits that they need with box office success. But other than that, this is the time, and it feels like they're finally getting it right. And the thing I like about DC is, rather than every film share the same look, the same exact tone like the Marvel films, and it worked for Marvel. Everything worked that Marvel did tonally. They made the right decision. But with DC, they're not afraid to switch up the tone for each film. So you have like the Batman. It's dark, it's gritty, it's ultra realistic. It's, on the cusp of being rated R. Great. And then you have something like Suicide Squad that's going to be a little bit more comic booky and brighter. I like that. I like how it's tonally different for each film, and it's exactly what that film needs to tell a story. And I like that. I like how each film will have its own different flavor and styling. All right, the next one. Ooh, I'm trying to keep up with your questions. Got a lot of them here. All right, the next one comes from Jordan. Sup, John? Have you seen the cast for Robert Eggers' Viking movie, The Northman? It looks awesome. I know nothing about it. Couldn't tell you anything about it. I haven't looked into it. But if it's a Viking film and it's an actual period piece film, actually set around the time that the Vikings were, yes, that the premise alone would intrigue me enough. I love time period films like Apocalypto or Master and Commander. I hope it's a true Viking film. Yes, okay. You got me excited for that. I don't know anything about it, though. The next one comes from Christian Corbett. What do you like better, the suit or the car? Here's what I like about it. I don't dislike the cowl or the mask. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. The bat ears look a little too thin. They're ever so slightly thin, in my opinion. They look like they want to break off, like little potato chips that you can break off. But that's my only complaint. From the neck down, the suit and the armor look phenomenal. Like that, I have no complaints. I think that looks great. But the car, the Batmobile this time around is essentially a souped up muscle car with a flamethrower on the back, which makes sense in this universe. And it's something different and it's believable. And once again, it sort of feels like that 1970s vigilante movie or something. So I dig the car. I think the car is pretty awesome. I want to see that in action. And we got a few clips in the trailer that looks like there's going to be a really good Batmobile car chase, which is something I need. That's something I haven't really seen in a Batman film since maybe The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was the last great Batmobile chase sequence, which turned into the Batpod at one point in the chase sequence. But I wasn't a fan of the Batmobile chase sequence in Batman v Superman. It was a little too CG. Like when the Batmobile crashed into that boat and it like popped out of it, it just looked like a CG Batmobile from a PS3 video game or something. I wasn't into it. But this could be awesome. And I hope they take their time with like a new chase sequence. I hope it's something like reminiscent to the film Drive. Like it's paced nice and slow. They don't rush it with a whole bunch of fast cuts, which I don't think they're going to, judging by how the way that this movie looks. Marcos Movies. So hyped for this one, John. What other DC movie are you anticipating besides Batman 2021? The Suicide Squad looks pretty damn good right now. I will say that. James Gunn looks like the little sneak peek trailer that we got looks pretty good. And once again, King Shark. They put King Shark in the movie and he's a big CGI fucking shark. Yes, please. I'll take more of that. And plus Harley Quinn sort of looks like Harley Quinn more so than ever. And just the cast alone and John Cena sort of playing like this do-gooding Captain America comedic hero villain-esque thing. I forget his name, but I would say Suicide Squad's my next most anticipated DC flick. David Coe. John, I love Batman movies, but haven't really read the comics. The only Riddlers I know are from the 1960s show and Jim Carrey. I never thought of him as a stone cold killer. Looks awesome. Oh yeah, the Riddler, utterly insane, man. And I'm not the biggest comic book reader. I've read some of the like graphic novels. I read The Long Halloween, which utilizes like a handful of Batman villains. And the last time I read it was probably like in the early 2000s when I was in middle school. But yeah, the Riddler can be sadistic, man. He's not always Jim Carrey with a spandex suit on and big question marks. And this incarnation of the Riddler definitely looks the darkest I've ever fucking. He looks scary. Like, he looks like a serial killer, and Paul Dano can play a serial killer. Just look at the he technically wasn't a serial killer in the film, but you believe that he was in the Hugh Jackman film Prisoners that came out years ago. So based on that, like, perfect casting choice for the Riddler. And it just gives a level, it makes him more threatening, more menacing. It's what the Riddler needs to be in this film. You need to have this threat, this something Batman truly needs to, the detective aspect of it, the best kind of detective / mystery film is when there's urgency, when there's a countdown and he has to do something in a certain amount of time. I think that's always going to make the best, like in the film Seven, they knew every day another murder would take place. So I can't wait. All right, the next one comes from Tyson Sherborne. Are you going to see Tenet? Great question. I wanted to talk about Tenet in this, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. I put out a tweet the other day. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please do. It's completely free, and you just click follow. It's super easy. But anyway, I bought my tickets for Tenet, and I bought them on the August 31st. It's like a 6 o'clock showing. And by the way, if you live in Columbus, hey, come to the movie theater and see me, but wear a mask and latex gloves and stand 6 feet away. I'll give you a high five up in the air. But yeah, I bought tickets for Tenet in IMAX, and when I went to buy the tickets, only one other ticket had been sold in a 300-seat auditorium. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's sort of bittersweet. For me, it's a good thing because I don't want to be around people when I watch the film right now, just with everything and all the chaos going on. I would love to be alone in a theater watching my most anticipated film of 2020. But with that said, if I was the studio right now and I looked at the ticket sales for Tenet, and I was looking at the theaters and I saw that 2 people bought tickets for a huge film that costs hundreds of millions of dollars coming out in another week, I would be a little bit afraid of the box office returns and not quite recouping my profit on the film. So I'm sure more tickets will get sold and more people will probably go see the film. But, I also bought tickets for New Mutants. And when I went to buy tickets for that film, it only sold, the auditorium I was looking at only sold maybe 5 or 6 tickets. And, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But then again, I haven't really checked other showtimes because what I was doing here was my method. All right, I'm a little bit crazy, but hear me out. And if you want to avoid people when you go to see a new movie, follow these instructions. They're very simple but highly effective. Buy tickets to the IMAX showing or the most expensive viewing experience of that film, like an RPX or whatever gimmicky thing they're going to show the film with. But buy the highest priced tickets that you can for that showing, because typically most people are cheap and they don't want to pay for an IMAX showing of a film. They'd rather go watch the basic version, the standard version of the film. So I bought those. And the other great thing about watching a new movie in IMAX is the auditoriums are much, much larger. So that just means more space between you and other mouth breathers who are possibly going to sneeze during the movie. So that's what I was trying to avoid. Now, I will say some theater policies, they do have you wear a mask the entire time that you watch the film, unless here's where it gets a little bit tricky, and I don't think a lot of people are going to follow the instructions to a T. But during the film, you can remove your mask if you're eating your concessions, or taking a drink or eating your popcorn. So I think when people are watching a movie, they're going to pull down the mask, eat their popcorn, and keep watching the movie and forget that their mask is down. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but half the reason I bought tickets to go see Tenet early is because I do want to see the film, but also I sort of want to see the vibe. I want to see how society is handling going back to the theater and how many people actually do go back. And all I know is the capacity is going to be at 40% of what it normally can be at, and there is going to be separation in the seats. So I'm going to go. I'll take a chance. I'll wear a mask. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm excited. All right, the next one. Where am I at? Okay. Robert Barton. Oh, man. Robert Barton. Thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated, buddy. Hey, John. I think he looked way better in costume once I saw him on camera. And I love his physicality when he beats the hell out of the guy in hell. And he didn't say hell. And hey, I think this will be the first Batman movie to acknowledge raccoon eyes when he removes the cowl. I said the exact same thing in my trailer breakdown. Yes, the thing that makes this Batman the most realistic version of Batman is when he goes out and fights crime in his cowl. Let's not forget the fact Batman is putting black mascara paint around his eyeballs to hide his skin when he's wearing the cowl to give it that cool illusion, that effect. And in all the other previous Batman films, when he removes the cowl, well, the makeup around his eyes is magically gone, especially in Batman Returns. That was the most blatant example of that. But anyway, in this one, at the very end of the trailer, you see Robert Pattinson sitting there with the black makeup dripping down his eyes. He's all sweaty and beat to shit. Yes, we've been waiting to see that. It's okay. Just leave it on. And that makes sense. Also, when he beats the shit out of the guy, yeah, I talked more about that in my trailer breakdown. I have a few theories. Some people are saying those are the Penguin's henchmen, and I don't disagree with you, but I also think some of those henchmen will become sons of Batman. If you read some of the comic books of Batman, you know, there's previous versions where Batman essentially meets this gang of mutant-like gang members, and what he does is he sort of transforms them to follow him and lead a different lifestyle, and he teaches them the way of non-lethal combat. So they're sort of like the eyes and ears of Batman in Gotham City, where they sort of pick up a little bit of his slack, which once again makes sense in an ultra-realistic Batman film because Batman can't be everywhere at once. He needs eyes and ears in Gotham City, and I think these gang members that he beats up in the film, if you pay close attention, after he beats the shit out of that guy, they sort of back up and they have like a close-up of one of their faces, and you can tell like they're probably just confused, young, dumb kids, and Batman's sort of going to set a better example, and they're going to follow him and become sons of Batman. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I mean, they already sort of have the face paint going on, and Sons of Batman have the same face paint, except it's sort of painted like the bat symbol on their face. So if that doesn't happen, I would assume that's more of I would take it as more of a missed opportunity, but I'm going to go out on a limb and just say it happens. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and also, yeah, he looked great on camera. Like, every time someone has a complaint about a new superhero costume or a new Batman costume, and when you see like paparazzi photos, it never looks great. But on camera, once you get the color grading and the lighting, it always looks good. Typically, unless you're George Clooney and you have nipples. And the next one comes from Patrick John. Marvel's concerned the fun market of the superhero genre. It's good to see DC finally accepting a way they are going to go to the dark route. They've been trying to do something they're not for a long time now. P.S. Shia LaBeouf would make a great Wolverine. Shut up. I think I butchered your question there. Some of it's like I can't read it all because my software condenses it. But yeah, DC has. I don't think DC is afraid. I like how DC is going the dark route. Yeah, I mean, they really set the precedent. Well, Zack Snyder sort of set the precedent with that, too, with Man of Steel in a way. But with Joker, they were like, you know what? Let's just do it. We have nothing to lose. Just go dark and gritty, and let's not hold back, okay? We don't need corny, shitty jokes, rewrites by Joss Whedon thrown in there. Just go for it. And with the success of Joker, that I think more or less that even gave Matt Reeves more free range to do whatever he wanted with the Batman film, even though I think it was in early production or going into production, but I can only assume that even gave him more creative control on the movie. Carter Lovejoy. Have you heard the song from Tenet called The Plan by Travis Scott? I don't believe I have. I have this weird thing that typically I try to avoid soundtracks of films or scores of films until I see the film, because I like that impact that the score gives, because sometimes in a film, especially a film like a Nolan movie or like a Zimmer score or something, the score plays such a big part of the film and the emotions, and some scenes like rely on that score to really give it that impact, that emotional impact. So I try to avoid scores of films before I see them, but after I watch the movie, and if it's a good score, I'll probably listen to it on the way home. Brevins Flicks and Games. John, you're not just a film critic, you're a silent guardian, an awesome tacular dude, a flick god. I love to make my own version of the last line of The Dark Knight. God, what a masterpiece. Absolutely. It is. And thank you for the compliments. That made me feel good about myself. Thank you so much, Brevin. A silent guardian. I don't know if I'm that silent, but I am a watchful protector. So thank you for those compliments. Damn 5271, can you dig it? Oh, I love me some Warriors. I love me some Warriors. Are you saying that the new Batman flick sort of has a Warriors vibe? I could see that. Yeah, I could dig that. I could dig that. All right, Rohan. Oh, by the way, yeah, speaking of the Warriors, like when Batman beats up that gang of kids in face paint, it sort of reminded me of the Baseball Furies from the movie The Warriors. And if you haven't watched The Warriors, go watch it right now. There's a gang of guys who dress up like baseball players that have their faces painted that run around the night. It's great. It's phenomenal. I've been waiting on a remake of that movie for like 10 years. All right, the next one comes from Brevins Flicks and Games. Once again, Flick Pick. I'm so sorry I got you so excited to make that super chat for you. I love and support you. I'll definitely be reviewing new movies soon. Well, good luck with your review channel, Brevins Flicks and Games. Yeah, man, review some movies. Why not? I need to review some more movies. I've just been waiting for new movies to come out. That's really just what I've been doing. The next one comes from Cash the Killer. Can you talk about 1 Hour Photo and The Accountant? I can talk about both films very quickly for you. Absolutely. I like 1 Hour Photo. Robin Williams is an obsessed creeper who works at a photo lab. And my favorite scene in that film is where he's daydreaming about going into the family's house and just taking a poop on their toilet. It's great. I love it. Also, The Accountant. I like The Accountant, directed by Gavin O'Connor. Anyway, I like him as a director. I think his best film he's done is Warrior. But I liked The Accountant. I thought it was really cool. It sort of felt like a superhero-esque vigilante movie without any source material, right? Sort of had that vibe in a way. Ricardo Franco. Colin Farrell as the Penguin kind of looked like Tom Hardy in Capone. Absolutely. A little bit bloated with scars on his face. Maybe he has syphilis. I'm not quite sure. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happens to him. Just get a shot of penicillin, Penguin. Everything will be okay. But you're right. Yeah. Oh, man, I wish I would have said that in my breakdown. That was great. All right, Joshua Garrison, looking forward to SummerSlam. Yeah, kind of not really. You know, I used to sort of watch WWE on a weekly basis because it was just good fluff to watch when I ate frozen pizza at night. But anymore, it's so hard to watch. Now, WWE, they started something new called Battle Dome, right? Thunderdome or something, whatever, where they put like TV screens in the audience to replace a live audience. Now you have like a live audience, but people's faces on TV screens watching WWE live. I tried to get on it, but it was all filled up when I tried to participate. I just thought it would have been funny to see my face on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not really looking forward to SummerSlam. Honestly, once live audiences come back, I'll be more invested. It's just sort of hard to watch it without a live audience. I don't know, but the spectacle is getting better now. Like they brought back pyrotechnics and it looks better than it did a few weeks ago. The next one comes from Night King 01. Batmobile looks like the 80s version from the comic. Yeah, you're right. It does. Yes, I do remember one comic interpretation of the Batmobile, and you are right. There's been so many bad interpretations of the Batmobile. My least favorite is when it looked like a 50-ton tank. Like, it just looks stupid. That was in the Dark Knight Returns, right? It just didn't even look like a Batmobile. But yeah, you're right. It does. The next one, Dominic Keon Scott. Can you believe Will Smith is missing out? On what? What's Will Smith missing out on? Am I missing something? What's he missing out on? I don't know. I don't know. Marcus Movies, gotta go get some. Are you talking about this new Suicide Squad movie? Because I'd much rather have Idris Elba. Marcos Movies. Gotta go get some videos done, John. We'll definitely watch the rest later. Hope you have a great rest of the night. Well, thanks, Marcos, and good luck with your videos, man. It's late. You're like me. You shoot your videos at 2 o'clock in the morning. So when your neighbors are sleeping, they can hear you screaming beside them. Ricardo Franco. Jim Carrey's Riddler was like one of the horny cats from Cats. You are right. Even with a spandex suit and the movements, you are right. My favorite scene of the Riddler from Batman Forever is when his face is all drooping, his face is all bloated, and Jim Carrey goes, "Oh!" Just such a great scene at the very end. It makes me laugh every time. Let's not talk about Cats. It gives me nightmares. But thank you for the super chat, Ricardo. Abinash Mohotny. Movie recommendations. You Were Never Really There. Phantom Thread. Lean on Pete. Leave No Trace. Inherent Vice. First Reformed. 8.5. Those are movie recommendations for me. Well, thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen some of those, actually. I've heard, like, You Were Never Really There. I haven't seen Phantom Thread. I heard it was good. Yeah, there's so many movies I need to catch up on. So many movies I haven't seen. So I need to catch up, man. But first I got to watch Unhinged with Russell Crowe. Oh, God. All right, the next one. Adam Rocks 771 watched Inception today in my smallest town in West Virginia, and they said I was the only person there. It was very nice, and I enjoyed it. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and there's nothing better than watching a film when you're all alone in the theater, and you don't even have to wear pants, and no one's there to judge you, and that's a phenomenal feeling. It's great. Don't ever do that. I call that pulling a Pee Wee Herman. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, I hope when I go to see Tenet, there's like 2 other people there. That is my hope. But that just means the movie made almost no money, and that's a scary thing for big budget Hollywood movies. But it'll make my viewing experience slightly better. So yeah, I love watching movies all alone. I have some stories about watching movies all alone that I could share. I don't know if you guys want to hear it right now, but if you do, let me know. Landon Lee, John, in the future, do you think the Dark Batman universe could pull off more wacky villains like Mr. Freeze and Mad Hatter? I don't think so. No, I don't. Not if they're going this direction with Batman and Robert Pattinson, because once again, for the 100th time, it's so ultra realistic and grounded and dark. And I hate using the term gritty to describe a film, but I will. It's gritty. So in this universe, no. As for fantastical villains, I think we're just going to have to wait a while for that. You know, I think there was a little room for that. If Affleck got some solo Batman movies, there would have been a little room for fantastical villains in that universe. Because if you can throw Doomsday in there, not Doomsday. What the hell am I thinking of? Yeah, Doomsday. Sorry, my brain went blank. If you can throw Doomsday into a movie with Batman also in it, there's no reason you can't throw Mr. Freeze in there the next movie or something. It's just how you handle it. So I think that the opportunity to have fantastical villains is gone. It went bye-bye with Affleck not coming back for a solo Batman movie. But yeah, he's coming back for a Flash movie, so that's pretty cool. Also, I had thoughts on the upcoming Flash movie that I was going to share with you guys, and I completely spaced out what I was going to say about it. I'm trying to search my brain. It's completely gone. Let's keep going. All right, the next one, Calvin Robinson, thoughts on the movie The Next 3 Days starring Russell Crowe. Instantly forgettable. Instantaneously a forgettable film that came out, 2012, I believe it was filmed in Pittsburgh and also starred Elizabeth Banks. And it was a film that just happened. No one talked about it. It disappeared 2 days later and no one ever references it again. It wasn't that good of a movie and I don't remember anything great about it. So that's what I remember about The Next 3 Days. And also, I'm glad you mentioned that because when I was looking at the trailers for Unhinged, I sort of thought about The Next 3 Days. I was like, this is a movie no one's going to remember 2 days after it comes out. Manuel Alarindo, Alejandro. Now I can read. Do you think Hush is a great story for the universe, for this universe? I think Hush would work in this universe. I really do. He's one villain I could see like maybe being mentioned in this film, or maybe he has a small cameo. I don't know, but I could see that happening in one of the future sequels. Night King 01. Just saw Inception in IMAX. Transcendence experience. Yeah, I bet. Did it take you to a magical, mystical place? I like Inception. You know what the thing is, though? I've sort of fallen out of love with Inception over the years. Don't dislike it. I'm not going to crap on it. I just don't love it as much as I once did. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. Alex Weberg, watch any AEW? Since I've seen any wrestling. I went to a live AEW show when it was in Alabama when I lived there. I occasionally watch a clip here or there on YouTube, but I don't really follow it too much. Michael G. Meet me halfway across. The loser takes the fall. Oh, yes. The score from Over the Top is phenomenal. Kenny Loggins. Oh, God. It's so great. And just the motto of Stallone. The world doesn't meet you halfway. If you want something, you got to go get it. That is the motto for life. Also, the motto for life is whenever there's an issue, arm wrestling can solve everything. Just remember that, folks. Okay? Scott Sullivan. I'm driving 398 miles to another state to watch Tenet in IMAX. Did your theater block off the surrounding seats when you picked it? Holy shit, man. But hey, I've done things like that. I don't think I've ever driven almost 400 miles to see a movie, but I have driven 2 hours. Actually, I've driven like three and a half hours. I remember when I used to go to Ohio to see early screenings of like the Justice League. Not the Justice League. Batman v Superman was one of those movies. And also The Dark Knight I drove 3.5 hours to go see. Small price to pay. But yeah, my theater did. When I bought my ticket, it blocked off every seat in the front of me and every seat behind me, one seat each direction. So it did, yeah. The weird thing is, though, when I bought my tickets online, I could not buy 2 tickets at once. Maybe there's some kind of weird glitch, but it would not let me buy 2 tickets at once. Maybe they don't even want you sitting beside a family member or something. I don't know. All right, the next one, Batman's a Gemini. Finally, my Tampa Bay Bucks and Batman tats will be justified 10 years later. Batman is like crack. Hype at 11. Well, good. I'm finally glad those paid off for you, man. Yeah, my hype's at an all-time high. I don't know I don't know what criticisms you could possibly have with that trailer, other than if you wanted a light and campy comedy Batman movie. Like if Batman and Robin is your favorite Batman movie of all time, I could understand if you have complaints with the new trailer. But for me, that was perfect. That was perfection. And I'm not even trying to fanboy out when I say these things. Like I went into it trying to like be cynical and trying to maybe find little nitpicks or flaws, but the truth is I could not find any. Maybe when I watch the 2-hour movie, I'll have some of those, but none with the trailer. And plus the music, it was just like dark and evil and it was just moody. I loved it. Landon Lee. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender animation? I have watched some episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I have a few friends that really like it. As much as I try to watch anime, and I get why people like it, and there are some sequences in anime that I enjoy. I like the animation style. I love the artistic approach to it. It's just not something I connect with. And I get it. It's like the purest form of storytelling. I get that. But for me, it's just not something that connects to me. Sean Rosen. My name is Morgan Freeman. And we're talking about the Batman movie. Terrible impression, but thank you for the super chat, man. Ricardo Franco. John, I think you don't play video games, but the trailer for Gotham Knights was really cool, even just as a trailer. It's cool. Yeah, you're right. I don't really play video games anymore. I play my classic SNES, which I need to get my friend a mod for me and put like 300 SNES games on it because I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it. But yeah, I haven't seen the trailer for Gotham Knights yet. But if you say it's good, it's good. Yeah, the thing for me in video games, I don't know. I used to play video games, and I think the more enjoyable aspect of video games for me was when all my friends were online playing. I got on, it was like social interaction. But now if I get onto a game and I'm like playing multiplayer online, and I'm just like listening to like little 8-year-olds scream in my ear, I can't take that. I just can't take it anymore. And plus, the thing is, like, people play video games for escapism, and I get it. But for me, when I have nothing to do, I sort of just want to veg out and watch something. I don't want to use hand-eye coordination. I just want to be immersed into something, and I have to physically do it. I want to lay there like a vegetable looking at it. Like, so I just watch a movie. Or I play like retro video games, which are just so simple and pure, and they take me back to a happy time in my life. The next one comes from Lucas Bernowskiewicz. Why can't I ever say your last name, Lucas? Bernowskiewicz. Do you know who the new Wolverine is? Do we know who the new Wolverine is? I'll rephrase your question. No, I don't believe we do, or else that'd be huge news, and I'd have to make a video about it. Are they currently casting a new Wolverine? Why would they need a new Wolverine? I know there's an X-Men movie in the works, but I don't think they'll probably announce Wolverine for a while. You know what? I want Tom Hardy to play Wolverine. If I could pick anyone, Tom Hardy should have been Wolverine and not Venom. He's not Eddie Brock. He's Logan. Tom Hardy would have been perfect for the actual comic rendition of Wolverine. He's built to play the part. I don't know. It just baffles me. Maybe they'll get him. Why not? He's already played Bane. He'll play Venom. Now he's going to play Wolverine. I mean, why not? Who cares? Choda17, what do you think of the song in the trailer? Do you like Nirvana? I like some Nirvana. Sure, why not? Yeah, I like Teen Spirit. The song in the trailer for the Batman, yes, it was perfect. It was perfection. It was moody and dark. And by the way, some people were asking in the comments section on my my breakdown of the trailer. They're like, do I have technical glitches? Why is the video muting when I'm watching the trailer? That's because YouTube has shitty copyright claims that they put on videos for no reason, even if it's fair use. I just muted the trailer here and there so the music wouldn't pick up on YouTube's search. So that's why I muted it. Plus, it wasn't necessary. So I know how YouTube is. The next day I'll get a copyright claim for the video and I'll have to dispute it. It's so stupid. All right. The next one comes from Cup of Joe Media. If this was the trailer we got at Comic-Con next year, I would be happy. We got spoiled tonight. Let's enjoy it. Matt Reeves talking about the film was just as exciting as the trailer. You're the best. Well, thanks, man. You're the best, Cup of Joe Media. Yeah, I didn't see the speech by Matt Reeves. I wasn't watching the live stream of DC Fandom. It was, we were out earlier tonight. We took our dog to the park to play ball, and I was just enjoying the fresh air. And I was like, when the trailer pops up online, I'll watch it. But yeah, we were spoiled. This to me was a trailer that probably could have come out at a later date, but we were spoiled. But I think DC was like, you know what? Let's just give it to him. Let's just give it to him. Everyone's stuck at home. Let's just show them what we got. And this just, it gets everyone excited. You know, the only shitty thing is we have to wait another year and a few months to see this movie, but it's happening. And that's enough for me to go comfortably to sleep at night, knowing that a new Batman film that's going to be good is coming out. The next one here, Mr. DVB. Who do you want to see for villains in this series? Who do I want to see? Well, the Riddler was one villain I always wanted to see done well, and it looks like we're getting that. This definitely looks like a great take on Riddler. Who else do I want to see? I would love if somehow, some way they magically did it. But if they could bring what, and we said this earlier in the live stream, if they could bring Joaquin Phoenix Joker into this Batman universe somehow, that would be phenomenal. Even if it's this, even if it's not necessarily Robert Pattinson's Batman going up against the Riddler in the streets of Gotham, or against the Joker in the streets of Gotham. Maybe they don't go that route. Maybe the Joker's no longer active in this version of Batman, but maybe the Riddler is a past criminal that existed in Gotham City, and he's in Arkham, and then you have a scene where Robert Pattinson's Batman goes to Arkham and has an encounter with Joker or something. Just maybe if they could just give us that much, like a scene, that would be fulfilling to me. But to go the other route, I would probably say I would love as much as I like Tom Hardy as Bane. I loved it. I loved everything about it. But I would love to see Bane show up in this universe. I would like to see that. I would like to see a really well done version of Bane, because he's always been one of my favorite Batman villains. I like physically threatening and imposing Batman villains. I like to see villains that can actually go toe to toe with Batman and kick his ass. I always thought those were the more interesting villains, and especially with Bane, he's not just some big dumb thug. He's kind of a mastermind. So I think if you could have that version of Venom show up in this Batman trilogy, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. You said 2 villains. I don't have. I guess I gave you 2. Yeah. Lucas Pernowskowicz. I thought the trailer was good, but we don't know anything about the story or anything. Why? I'm kind of mixed on this trailer. No, Lucas. The best kind of trailer is where it entices you and intrigues you and doesn't tell you everything. This trailer told you everything you need to know. You know there's some kind of mystery. You know there's a threat. You know the Riddler's in there killing people, and Batman needs to solve the case. You don't need to know anything else. That's all you need. That's all I need. Now, if you want to give us a little more insight on the next trailer along the way, sure. But this is the first trailer. This is technically a teaser trailer, I guess you could say. And that's what a teaser trailer should do. It should tease. It doesn't lay out the movie. It was perfect. The next one, Sean Rosen, 1.21 gigawatts. Well, thank you for that comment. Yeah, by the way, Back to the Future hitting 4K soon. Can't wait for that shit. Landon Lee, do you listen to rap music? Yeah, I like some rap music. Sure, I like the hard gangster rap shit. Like, it just makes me feel like so suburban, but I like NWA. I like some Eminem, but yeah, I like some rap music. Alberto AVR donated a super chat. Well, thank you, Alberto. You didn't put a question, but thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated, buddy. The Lone Tiger. Hey, John. Sorry I can't watch the stream because I'm watching The Exorcist with my family. What the fuck? Well, maybe where you live, it's early. But hey, that sounds like a fun Saturday night with the family. My question is, generally, what do your hours look like? What time do you wake up and sleep, and how has that changed over time? I've always been a vampire of the dark, of the night. I don't know why, but even as a kid, I can remember being like 6 years old and everyone went to bed and I'd turn on the TV or sneak down to the basement and watch VHS movies. And just at nighttime, I've always come to life. My creative juices have always started flowing at night, physically and well, physically and figuratively. But yeah, I don't know why. At nighttime, I always come to life. And don't get me wrong, I have had normal jobs where I had to wake up and go to work from 8 to 4 or 5, and I hated those jobs. Just because in the morning, I feel like from the hours of 6 to 1 o'clock, it's hard to be creative. It's just like no one wants to be awake those hours. They're draining, they're soul stealing, and it makes almost no sense to be awake unless you have to. But usually after like midnight is when I come to life. And every time I make a YouTube video, as much as I try to make a video during the day, it's a struggle for me. And every time, like, what I do is I wait till everyone goes to sleep. I'm all alone. There's no distractions. and I make videos and I'm more creative and I come up with better ideas when I'm all alone. And plus it's just better. There's no traffic outside. There's no one to bother you. It's just something about it. You feel so alone and isolated, but I sort of like the feeling. I don't know. It's sort of a weird feeling. And you just feel like you're the last man on earth. And I like that. Yeah. So my hours it just depends. Some days I wake up normal hours. Some days I skip sleep and stay up all night. Typically, if I have things to do, I stay up all night and I just get them done. I'm one of those people, if you give me 3 days to do something, I wait until the last day. I don't sleep. I get it all done. And then I stay up the next morning with my eyes bloodshot. And then I go out and do every other obligation I thought I had to do. And then I just sleep for like a day and a half straight after that. That's my schedule. I don't know if you want to live that kind of life, but hey, if you want to, it involves a lot of caffeine and sadness. Alberto AVR, greetings from Mexico. Carl Urban as Wolverine. Yeah, okay. I can dig that. I don't disagree. Okay, I can dig that. Speaking of Carl Urban, how about Netflix, with all of your money that you waste on shitty Netflix movies? How about you take some of that movie, you buy the rights to Dredd, and you make a Netflix series of Dredd? Huh? How about that, Netflix? You got more money than you know what to do with. You don't usually make good things with it, so make something good with it. I think a Dredd Netflix series with Carl Urban would be phenomenal. Cup of Joe Media. Amazing to think the footage from only 1/4 of what they shot so far. Also, that was a crunchy bone breaking beatdown. Got some rated R vibes. Yeah, when Batman just pounding that dude's face, you're crunching. It sounds like someone eating cereal with their mouth open. I liked it. Yes, and yeah, you're right. They only shot like 1/4 of the movie, maybe a little bit more than that. And production's finally picking back up. But yeah, that's crazy. That's all they shot, and you got that great of a trailer. I can only imagine some of the money shots that they have yet to film. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't wait to see what else they do with it. Like, what is the climax of this movie going to be? Batman's Gemini. Thanks for breaking down the Batman trailer. Your video broke into my feed. You are the man. I'm the Batman. Don't tell my Aunt May. Well, that would be if you're Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Marissa Tomei's Aunt May is my favorite. Okay. Anani Mossy. Hey, John, how's life? How are you emotionally, etc.? Emotionally, I'm jacked up and ready to go, man. Actually, I'm a little bit tired. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, I'm well. Life is going well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. Emotionally speaking, I am here. I am sane. I feel okay. Tyler Van, hope you're well. Can you rank the 5 movies from the Disney Golden Era? Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, Bambi. The 5 classic animated films? Dude, I don't know. Are we going into the 1960s or the 1970s? Sword in the Stone's what? Is it late 60s, early 70s, Sword in the Stone? I would include that, though. I'm sorry. I like the Sword in the Stone. So I'd say Sword in the Stone, Pinocchio, Snow White. You got to throw Bambi in there. I was never a huge Fantasia fan, but I'd put Peter Pan in there as the 5. I'd say those are my 5. Dumbo's really sad. Liked it as a kid. Makes me sad watching it. Bambi makes me sad as well. But everything else, instantly rewatchable. Nighthawk 89. How would you feel if they had Mark Hamill playing the Mad Hatter like he did in The Flash? I personally would love to see Michael Keaton played as old Batman, teaching Robert Pattinson as Batman Beyond. That's probably never going to happen in this version of Batman, but we are going to get Michael Keaton as an older Batman and Ben Affleck as another version of Batman in the upcoming Flash film, which, hey, I'll take what I can get, and that's something I never thought we would be getting. So I think that's probably the most we're going to get with Keaton, unless they do a Batman Beyond. What'd you say? Now, okay, so yeah, if they make a Batman Beyond film separate from what Pattinson is doing, you could throw Michael Keaton in there. Sure, why not? Yeah, you could throw Keaton in there. Maybe they'll allude to that in the Flash film. I feel like the Flash film, which is based on the Flashpoint storyline, is going to give DC so much room to set up other things and hints and tidbits at other things they could possibly do. And it's going to give all this room to have multiple universes, which gives you multiple movies you can make. That's what else I wanted to talk about in this video, was that storyline. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation going on with the Flashpoint paradox for the upcoming Flash film starring Ezra Miller. And a lot of people, if you look at the Flashpoint storyline, in that you have, what happens is young Bruce Wayne actually dies. His parents survive, but his father becomes Batman. He's a very violent Batman who kills people, and his mother becomes Joker. I never liked that. I think they might hint at that in Flashpoint, and maybe they even show like a clip of it, or maybe they dedicate like 2 minutes of the movie to showing something like that, like an alternate reality. But I don't think they're ever going to truly go that direction. And the thing that I've never loved about that storyline is, and maybe you disagree with me, but just hear me out for a second. Whenever you have Bruce Wayne's mother, Martha, becoming the Joker, that just doesn't work for me. Like, I don't want to see more than 2 seconds of that on screen. I'm like, I just don't buy into that. Sorry. But as far as Mark Hamill playing Mad Hatter, maybe Mad Hatter. Maybe. But the Mad Hatter would sort of be a little bit similar to Riddler in a way. So Mark Hamill, I guess he would be okay. I don't see them casting him, though, to do that. I just really don't. By the way, I didn't really... real quick, talking about Mark Hamill, I rewatched like 5 minutes of the Chucky remake. I saw it in theaters, but then I went back to rewatch it again, and I could only make it through 5 minutes of that movie. I do not like Mark Hamill's voice as Chucky. I just don't like it. Mark Hamill is the voice of Joker? Absolutely. That is love to my ears, but not Chucky. Lucas Bernowskowitz, can I hear Buffalo Bill before I go to bed?
It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the fucking lotion in the basket.
Could you imagine if my neighbors could hear me right now? The police are on their way.
Good night, Lucas.
All right. Gosh. Thank you guys for the questions. These are glorious. All right, let's catch up on some other questions here. So is Keaton really playing Batman again? Yes, Keaton is going to be in the new Flash film as a version of Batman. So Flash goes to all these different alternate realities. One of them will have Keaton as Batman, an older Batman. Another one will have Ben Affleck as Batman in another alternate universe. So yeah, the thing right now is Keaton should be showing up as an older Batman in the Flash film. Hopefully. Why did you say that name? Because we had to end the fight somehow. We had to have them get along. Child's Play 2019 was okay. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. It was like Chucky essentially was like an evil android Alexa robot Roomba vacuum. The tone was all wrong. Alexis McCutcheon, do you find HDR in some 4K movies too dim? HDR, it depends on what you're watching and which TV you're watching HDR on. So sometimes HDR is just a marketing tactic to sell you a TV that's probably not that good. And what they do, some TVs with HDR, it's not true HDR. And all they're doing is they're making the brights brighter and the darks darker to give you more contrast to say, hey, this is HDR. But it's not really. HDR is where you have a dark image and you have details, fine details in that dark image. And you can see those fine details, and it's not just a black blotchy blob on the screen. So when you say 4K movies sometimes are too dim, or HDR films are sometimes too dim, it might just be your TV, or it might be it's on cinema mode or some kind of other mode making it way too dim for the viewing experience. Or maybe it's just your HDR setting. But some LCD screens, because they have so much backlight with fluorescent bulbs, where it bleeds through the screen, and rather than get that dark, inky black, you sort of have like a gray, washed out image. So what your TV might be doing, if it's an LCD TV or even an LED TV, is it might be dimming those bulbs so dim to say, oh, look how dark the image is. But really, your bulbs are just so dim. It's why it's doing that. Thus, you're losing a lot of detail and vividness from the screen. So that could be another thing that's happening, I would imagine. That's just my quick thoughts off the top of my head to you. Whenever I see Batman, I just think of John. I think we need a John Batman. Well, you're getting it right now. This is a John Batman. But thank you for those nice words. Where am I at right now? I don't even know what's happening. I'm going to refresh this. Check how many. 489 people are watching right now. Fuck yeah, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. And if you could, because it helps that stupid YouTube algorithm. And if I want to beat the YouTube algorithm, because what it does is they suppress me and they don't put my videos in your sub boxes anymore. But let's beat that algorithm. If you could, if you want to, give the video a thumbs up. It does help the video. And I do appreciate it. And also, the more you watch my videos, the more they do magically show up in your sub box. It's just, I hate YouTube. But yes, almost 500 people watching, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Hell yeah. I might do these live streams later every night. I always thought more of you were normal, and I had to do them around like 6 o'clock at night. But now I know midnight is the time to go. Maybe it's because it's Saturday, and we're all stuck at home, and there's not really anything else to do. John Gonzalez says, I have a question. Then ask the question. John, very important question. How are you? I'm good. And I'm glad you guys joined me tonight. I'll keep it real with you. I love doing these live streams. I missed this week's live stream by a few days, and I'm making it up to you on a Saturday impromptu live stream. So yeah, these live streams are awesome, and I'm glad you guys joined me. And I'll be honest with you. It's this kind of interaction, this sort of format. This is why I started doing YouTube. I like it, and I just like interacting with you guys. I like being live, not hiding behind jump cuts and all that other bullshit. I like just on the fly, talking as we go. Batman's Gemini. If Marissa Tomei was my aunt, I'd have a new son and cousin at the same time. That's yes. Hey, wouldn't we all? Joshua Garrison says it's Saturday. Yeah. Did I say it was Saturday? I think I did, right? But yeah, it is. Maybe that's why everyone's up late. I don't know. Nighthawk 89. Also, I love to see a Jon Stewart Green Lantern sometime. I love to see that Green Lantern versus Hal Jordan. Who would you pick to play him? It depends. Are you saying Jon Stewart? I don't know. Idris Elba maybe would be a good Jon Stewart, but he's already playing like 5 other characters. But that's who I would probably cast off the top of my head. I'd have to keep thinking. Maybe the dude from Tenet. He could make a good Jon Stewart. Maybe. I need to watch Tenet though. I need to see him in action. But I don't know. I would like to. I think maybe they're gonna do it. They did say Green Lantern should have a small scene in the Snyder cut of Justice League. So we'll see. Maybe it'll just be like a generic Green Lantern. But for an actual standalone movie, I don't know. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions on who should play Green Lantern. Maybe Ryan Reynolds will come back. Maybe he'll redeem himself. Who knows? Alex Thomas. Greetings from Cleveland, Ohio. How was your move? Move was good. Yeah, I moved to Columbus like over a month ago, but my office and studio are still in shambles. I haven't put it together. I haven't decided on how I want to do my new setup. This is very kind of like a half-ass setup. I might change things a little bit. I want to sort of make it a little more laid back and loungy. So I might have like a couch I use as my new setup. I bought a couch off Amazon, so I don't know. We'll see. But things are good. My move was good. Moving always sucks. I do it so often. I know. But yeah, it was good. It went as good as it possibly could have. I just didn't get to sleep for 2 days. And someone responded, to Alex, Alex, I want to help you out. I'm technical support right now at midnight. Alex and his HDR problem with 4K movies. Yeah, so someone said maybe your TV is not HDR enabled, and they do make a good point. Sometimes if your TV isn't HDR compatible, what will happen is it'll play the movie, but it'll just be super dim. So that could be the issue. Maybe your TV is not HDR compatible. If it does it with every movie, you might have an issue there. Alex Thomas, greetings from Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, I already answered that. I'm stupid and I'm sorry. But yeah, by the way, Cleveland, Ohio. I used to live pretty close to there a couple years ago. Joshua Garrison, have you ever read the American Psycho book? Just bought it recently. I've read parts of it. I've read little parts of it, and it's definitely darker and even more violent than the film. The film, actually, when you read the novel, the movie holds back. The movie holds back. So I have read parts of it. I never read the whole thing. It's one of those things I should maybe sit down and do one day, but I just haven't. Have you seen the movie Made You Ugly Cry? Which one? I don't know. Have you seen the movie Ugly Cry? Which one? No, I have not. What does Amber think of your videos? Does she watch them? Some of them, occasionally. Listen, typically girlfriends don't watch people's YouTube videos. Like, she can't watch my video and then go interact with me. I don't know. It's hard to do. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. On videos, I give you guys 190% enthusiasm. In reality, I'm a little bit more toned down sometimes. So she watches some of them occasionally, not every one of them. If there's like a good one, I'm like, go watch that one, but not every single one of them. Alex Thomas, are you going to do more Flick Trip vids? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I do want to do a few of them. Yeah, I do actually. Yes. I was actually going to do one when I go to see New Mutants and Tenet. I was going to do like a Flick Trip going to the theater, just to kind of showcase how movie theaters are, and if there's only 3 other people in the theater. I was going to make a Flick Trip doing both of those. And as far as like going to Walmart and shit like that, yeah, I do want to do more. Joshua Garrison, does Amber work? Yeah, she's doing an internship before she graduates with a master's degree. So yeah, she's finishing that up. Mission Impossible 2 or 2. Mission Impossible 2 are Too Fast, Too Furious. I swear someone asked this exact same question on the last live stream, and I don't know if that's a coincidence or you're the same person asking it twice. Probably Too Fast, Too Furious, just because it's easier to get through than Mission Impossible 2. It's just, I can't look at Tom Cruise's hair in Mission Impossible 2. I just can't do it. It just, I don't know why. It makes me want to gag. All right. Ronnie Newber. Hey, John, any thoughts on the new Wonder Woman trailer? I'm kind of skeptical about how Cheetah looks. You know, I watched part of it. I watched like part of it as I was skimming through like Facebook, and I didn't watch all of it because I was going to wait and watch it later. I did see the clip of Cheetah, who looks like CGI lady from the Cats movie jumping around with electricity. It looked okay. I didn't hate it. It's a little bit crazy looking, but I don't. What did you want Cheetah to look like? I don't know. It looked okay. The only thing I don't like about the trailer, and I had this issue when I watched Wonder Woman, the first movie, is when they show little young Diane, and she's like a little kid. And in the first movie, it shows her like jump off this cliff, and her like somebody grabs her wrist, and she's like smiling like this. Ha ha ha! I'm trying to commit suicide. I'm a kid, and it just, I don't like that. It sort of makes me cringe. And every time I see little young Wonder Woman in the movie played by like a little girl, it's just something about it. it's off-putting to me. I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, I do need to go watch the trailer. I'm looking forward to the movie. I really am. But like the Batman trailer sort of overshadowed everything, didn't it? Alex McCutcheon. I have an OLED. It just has some titles. I watch other reviews like Spare Change, and he talks about some being dim. I was just curious if yours do. No, I don't. I have an OLED LG, and my TV never goes overly dim when it's on an HDR setting. It does not. And I have different settings on my TV. So you have like cinema, and I change the cinema mode because I find factory setting cinema modes are just overly dim. I don't know why. It's just overly dim for the sake of being dim. I always go in there and tweak them, but every time I start the movie, the HDR logo automatically does pop up, so I don't have that issue. Mr. DVB, rein in, man. Aesthetic, not in many films. Oh, rein in Batman equals aesthetic. Yes, you're right. I like rain in a movie does add that extra little touch, doesn't it? Put rain in a movie, it just makes it more dramatic. Yes, yeah. My favorite scene from a movie, and randomly, just to keep going with your question here, and to add some substance to it, my favorite movie scene with rain in it is Shawshank Redemption, when Andy Dufresne crawls out of that tunnel with shit. He crawls 500 yards through shit-smelling madness I couldn't even imagine to freedom, and he comes out clean on the other side, and it's raining, and he just screams up at the lightning. Such a great scene. Anthony Moose, you seen Watchmen series. It's fucking brilliant. I watched one of the episodes. I didn't dislike it, but I just did not get into it. I just didn't. I'm sorry. I just did not. By the way, speaking of Watchmen, the Zack Snyder Justice League teaser trailer tonight, it reminded me so much of his film Watchmen. It's so much. Like, it looked so similar. Alexander Lowe, Bruce Wayne / Batman versus Jason Voorhees, who wins? Let me drink this as I think about that. I think Batman would outsmart Jason Voorhees. But which Jason Voorhees are we talking about? Which movie? Are we talking about like Jason X? I don't know. He had a lot of muscle definition in that movie. But if we're talking about like Jason Takes Manhattan, I don't know. Maybe he could punch Batman's head off and it falls into a dumpster. I'm not quite sure. I'd go with Batman though. Nighthawk 89. Sorry for asking so many questions, but I would also like to see the Injustice series timeline. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll hint to it or allude to it ever so slightly, but you can't do everything with every timeline in a movie. You know, sometimes simple is better. So I guess time will tell. I mean, but if anything, right now, DC they're making movies that fans want to see. They are going the route I think we've all wanted to see them go since the end of the Nolan Batman trilogy. So anything's a possibility at this time. Like, anything can happen, right? And it's a good time to be alive if you're a DC fan. Alex Thomas, have you bought any new Blu-rays? I have. Have I bought any new Blu-rays? Not in a while. Oh. This is Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons, the movie. This was sent to me by Warner Brothers. I have not watched it. I just have not got a chance. I want to watch it. Huge fan of Deathstroke. And I want to check this out. But I also got the King of Staten Island sent to me. And I know it's been out for a while, but they sent me like a cool unboxing I need to do. Maybe I'll save that for like a vlog video. But yeah, they sent me that as well, and I haven't watched that. There's so many movies I need to keep up and watch. But as far as like buying new Blu-rays, like on 4K or anything, not lately. But I want to. I went to a used Blu-ray video game store the other day, And they didn't really have anything I wanted to buy, but there are things I do want to buy. All right, just making sure I don't miss any questions. Let's keep going here. It's getting late. Are you guys tired? Do you want me to keep going? Let me know. Joshua Garrison, what would you consider your favorite film genre? That depends. It depends. I mean, what would you classify Nightcrawler as? Drama, thriller, suspense, sort of a dark comedy? I would say all three of those things combined into one film, but I also like the comic book action genre as well. So I like action, thriller, drama. I'd say those three things in one movie would typically be my favorites. But then again, I love sci-fi. It's just I don't feel like we get enough great sci-fi films as of late. Hector the Chill Guy. Hey, John, would you like to watch a movie with Lou Bloom, Patrick Bateman, and Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, similar to the movie Glass? Yes, I would. I don't eat popcorn because popcorn has salt and it dries out your skin. Yeah, that would be a great movie to watch. I don't know if I would survive the movie, but I would watch that film, yes. Which movie would we watch? We'd watch Batman and Robin. Joshua Garrison says, keep going. Everyone says, keep going. I can keep going. Keep me alive. Give me the fuel that lights the fire, guys. It's 1:17 in the morning. We're just getting started. The juices are flowing. I'm ready. This is it. Don't get scared now. All right. I think I'm dying. Okay. Patrick Bateman is the real villain. Why? Why do you consider him a villain? See, you watch a film like Nightcrawler, and people would say Lou Bloom is the villain, but I would disagree with you. I just think he's a guy who did whatever it takes to get what he wants. And don't stand in his way or else you're going to pay. But I don't see him as a villain. Have you seen Mad Men? Absolutely. I love me some Mad Men. I love everything about it. Don Draper is my kind of guy. I love everything about Mad Men. I always, and maybe one day when the YouTube thing dries up and goes away, I always sort of wanted to work in an ad agency. And, you know, the workplace will never be like it was in the 1950s and 60s. But Don Draper, though, I wish I knew a guy like Don Draper. Alex Thomas, have you ever been to the place called The Exchange? Yes, I have, Alex. Have you ever watched my YouTube channel? Yes, I've been there a few times. If you go watch, there's some old vlog videos or some old Flick Trip videos on this channel. Just Google search John the Flick Pick selling my movies from a couple years ago. I do go to The Exchange in that video, so check it out, man. I also go to Chick-fil-A. It's a good time. Interstellar or Gravity? I think Interstellar is the better film. It's more of the thinking man's movie. Both from a technical standpoint are phenomenal. From a story standpoint, I think Gravity is just a bit more simple and doesn't try to overreach as much as Interstellar did. Interstellar, I think like 80% of the way I was with it. It's just that other 20%, Nolan tried to go a little bit crazy. Like he went a little bit crazy with it, and that's fine. But it took me out of the movie. I will say this, Interstellar I find more watchable than Gravity, but Gravity was a great experience nevertheless. John, someone just typed a comment and instantly deleted it. I saw it though, Frank. I saw that comment. It said, John, can you make me cringe? I can make you cringe. You want to see cringe? I'll save it for later. All right. Inception is better than Interstellar. Yes, I agree with that. Your favorite Batman comic? Probably, maybe The Long Halloween. Maybe. Like I said, I'm not a huge comic book reader. I've read a few. John Joseph Gray. Hey, John, big fan. Just wanted to say this was a great win for DC Comics. Would you agree? Well, hell yeah, I'd agree. This was the best thing I've seen from DC in 8 years. Absolutely. Yeah, this was a win for DC. This is anyone who had a doubt of the Batman films, or I mean, not only that, not only the trailer for Batman, but Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. Now, I haven't watched the full Wonder Woman trailer, but it looks to be like a good movie thus far from everything I've seen. I did see the teaser trailer. I just haven't watched the full trailer yet. Maybe we can watch the trailer right now on the live stream. I don't know. But yeah, this DC's getting it right, man. Like everything they're putting out, it's like perfection, perfect. It's exactly what we want to see with every movie. It's like they didn't put out something bad where we're just like, oh, that didn't look good. It's like everything they're putting out, it's like, yes, this is what we all wanted to see. Thank you. Finally, you're doing it. It's just they've changed. They've got it right. And my eyeball itches right now. Alex Thomas. Oh yeah, my bad. I did watch that video. Laugh out loud. Well, thanks. Well, I'm glad you did, Alex. Thank you. Michael G. Hyped for Zack Snyder's next zombie film, Dawn of the Dead remake, was his best ever. The next one is delayed because they recast Chris D'Elia's role. Yeah, and as they should. Fuck that guy. So yeah, I guess they did recast his role and it's delayed now. And that's okay, but yeah, I am looking forward to it. Zack Snyder, when he makes a zombie flick, it's usually pretty good, and I liked his remake of Dawn of the Dead. Matt E. 2001: A Space Odyssey or Interstellar? Okay, which one's more groundbreaking and is more of a classic? 2001: A Space Odyssey. Okay, but am I going to go watch 2001: A Space Odyssey tomorrow? No, I'm not. It's great. I think everyone who loves cinema should watch it at least once, but I don't want to watch scenes of spaceships docking for 25 minutes. So I think Interstellar would probably be the more watchable sci-fi film. Next one comes from Patrick John. Movie idea. An underpaid teacher and a bored student with no prospects decide to rob a bank together and split the money. What do you think? Sure, yeah. I actually had one of my other favorite genres are heist films, but I like heist films with a little bit of levity in there. I actually had a concept for a film where you had like a kid and he was like a teenager in high school and he watches a lot of movies, like heist movies, and his grandfather's dying, but the family doesn't have any money. And the kid wants to get like the best medical treatment he possibly can. So he starts like robbing banks and doing these like really complicated heists. And it's the vibe of the movie would be something like Heat meets Kick-Ass. And I had that concept for a movie. But anyway, yeah, yours sounds good as well. Sean Rosen, what's a random fun fact about you? A random fun fact about me. I'm sort of a weirdo, as you guys know, but I'm addicted to researching things. If I look up something or if I have a slight interest in something or I watch a movie or TV show where they mention a fact that I find interesting, I will spend the next 12 hours on Google researching it to no end. Like I watched the film Apocalypto, right? What happened after I watched Apocalypto? Why I started researching about the Mayan civilization, discovering America, their culture, the Aztec culture, the locations, exactly how they worked as a culture. Like if I watch a movie like Interstellar, I'll start researching quantum physics. I'll start researching astrophysics and space time and different universes and the Andromeda galaxy, which is the closest galaxy that we have to our own, which is like another 20 million light years away. But I'll research those things almost compulsively until I feel fulfilled, and then I'll move on to something else. Is that one fact about me? Yes. The other thing is I'm sort of a germaphobe. The next one comes from Beatrice Chaswick. No question. Don't get scared now. Well, thank you. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you for that. And I won't. The next one, Landon Lee. What's one thing Columbus has that Alabama didn't? An IKEA. We have an IKEA. I love IKEA. It's so fulfilling. We bought a rug there the other week. I might go tomorrow and buy a desk. I fucking love IKEA. I love it. Also, Alabama had Costco's, but Columbus has 3 Costco's. So there's that. All right. I think we finally got into the weird questions. All right. I'm going to see how many people are still watching my stupid face right now. 488 of you? What are you doing right now? What are you doing? Why aren't you sleeping? But thank you for joining me, guys, once again. Let me know what you guys... By the way, comment right now. I want to know what you're doing right now, late at night, what you're doing, what you're up to. If you're cruising the internet, what were you guys watching before you watched my live stream? Or if you're watching a movie or you're hanging out with the family, let me know, guys. I'd like to know what you're doing. Doshi asks, thought if the movie theater completely goes away. Thoughts on if the movie theater completely goes away? Well, we're at an interesting crossroads right now where we're gonna figure out the answers to some things very soon. And if films like Tenet, if no one goes to see that movie and it makes no money, and audiences are not ready to return to the theater just yet because they don't feel comfortable, we might see an influx of a lot of movies, huge movies, all going to VOD. And those theater release dates, they either will be canceled and the movies will be pushed to VOD, or things get delayed even further back. So I think Tenet will be a good test. Do I think theaters will ever go completely away? It just depends on how long they can survive. It's just, people are paranoid right now, so time will tell. Crunch Butt Steak, great name. I'm going to name my child that. Flick, have you heard Kerpal Airport prank call? No, I have not. I don't think I have. Alex Thomas, I made Blu-ray videos, movie reviews, and other videos, and you're one of my inspirations. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Alex. Thank you, man. And that's awesome. Keep going. Don't stop, man. It's always awesome. I'm glad I could slightly inspire you to do something. That always makes me feel good, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Bryce Russo. Hey, John, from Boston. Hey, what are you doing over there? Hey, come here. How's your mother? Keaton is my Batman. Keaton was my Batman for many years, and I would say Bale sort of became my Batman, and then Affleck sort of became my new Batman that I wanted to see more of. But now, you know who our Batman is? Robert Pattinson, baby. And that's something I never thought I would say. Like saying Ben Affleck was going to be Batman was sort of like, okay, I don't know. But saying Robert Pattinson was going to be a good Batman, could you imagine saying that? Like, could you imagine the concept of Robert Pattinson as Batman back in 2010? There's no way. You couldn't fathom it. I couldn't fathom it just 2 years ago. The next one comes from, let me read this name, Lubricated Potato. I bet you could have some fun with that. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you? Where is John? I think you got mixed up with that, but your heist, I don't know if you meant, I don't know. Your heist movie idea with the kid sounds a little like Baby Driver, but I had my idea 10 years ago. And it's on video to prove it. So Baby Driver owes me some money. Sounds a little like Baby Driver, while Patrick John's movie with the underpaid teacher and student with no prospect sounds like an episode of Breaking Bad. They both sound like good to me. But I will say my idea came before Baby Driver. All right. Patrick John. The FlickPick logo and the IKEA logo look very similar. Conspiracy confirmed? Does it? I don't know. The IKEA logo has yellow letters and a bluish background, but other than that, I don't see it. I mean, you could say the IKEA logo And the Blockbuster logo looks similar if you want to go that route. I don't see it, though. Jose Mendoza. Let me take a drink of this caffeinated beverage before we continue. Oh, I'm ready. Okay. Jose Mendoza. Hey man, thanks for your vids. At one point, I was at an all-time low, so I started to rewatch your old content and newer as well. Thanks for the great content. Well, dude, I hope you're doing better now, and thank you. And, I'm the same way. Sometimes I feel a little bit down, and I go and binge watch some YouTube videos from people I like, and it puts me in a good mood. There's some stuff I watch on YouTube that I watch videos, and I'm like, I feel like making a video now because I watched their video. And thank you for that, man. And, that does mean a lot. I'm not just saying that. It truly does. Like, it's that kind of shit that makes me want to push record on this camera sometimes. So thank you for that. Anthony Moose. How can I get over an ex that became a dear friend? That's a hard one to swallow, man. That's a hard one to swallow. Ugh, I don't know. Just move on. Get on Tinder, start swiping, find something to occupy your time. You'll be okay, man. Cup of Joe Media, drinking craft beer and enjoying the live stream. Sounds like a good night to me. I'm drinking a Bang energy drink and talking to you guys. And once again, I didn't even plan on doing this, but you know what got me going? After I watched that Batman trailer, I was so inspired. I was like, I'm ready to go. I need this. And I made that quick breakdown video, and I don't know. I felt like talking movies with you guys after I made that video. I'm still baffled right now of how many people are watching this live stream. Like almost 500. That's a lot of people. I think people are just going crazy right now with all the DC news and content going on right now. It's a good time to be alive. I'll say it once again. Holy shit. I'm looking at the Batman official teaser trailer video I did like 2 hours ago, and it's at 20,000 views. Holy shit. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. For my channel, I'm very happy with that. Huh. That's awesome. Okay. It's always a good feeling. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. What's the term? Reinvigorated? We'll go with that. Okay. Sean Rosen. I've been watching you since 2012. Keep up the fun vids. If you're ever near Omaha, come check out my haunted houses. Do you have anywhere you live? Do I have any haunted houses where I live? Like real haunted houses or like Halloween time haunted things that they put in old Kmarts? Which one do you mean? Real haunted houses? I don't know. Typically around Halloween, yeah, there's a haunted house or two. I don't see them happening this year though. I just don't see that happening. Maybe, I guess you could get away with a haunted house. Yeah, I guess you could. Everyone wears a mask, you included, and all the actors have to stay like 5 feet away from you. I could see that happening. But then again, that wouldn't be that good of a haunted house. But yeah, thanks, Sean, for watching me for like the last 9-8 years. And Omaha, Nebraska, I don't see myself ever coming to Omaha, Nebraska. I just don't see it happening. I'll be real with you. I don't see it happening. Doshi. I've been watching you since you played with a shark in your swimming pool. I can't believe that's one of your most viewed videos. Me, neither. I guess people just like to see a guy playing with a shark in a swimming pool. Over 2.5 million views. And it's just like, why didn't I make a better video? But yeah, 200. I don't know. I think people just have a weird obsession with sharks. I know I do. So, all right, let's keep going here. Night King 01 says, I missed a super chat. I didn't miss it. I will get to it. Rob K, DC overload my brain today. No complaints. Yeah, it's definitely an overload, man. And my head hurts. Like, there's too much to talk about, and I probably should do it. And maybe I will. I'm just super busy like the next day. Every time cool shit happens, I always have obligations. I hate it. But yeah, it's definitely an overload. Like if DC would have just spaced some of this out, that would have been good. But hey, who's to complain? All right. Night King 01, you said I missed a question here. I don't see your question, but I'm going to keep... Oh, here it is. Night King 01. Think Inception is elevated by the IMAX experience. When I saw it, what caused it to fall out of favor with you? Also, are you hyped for the Batman, or am I more hyped for Batman or Tenet? I'll be honest, probably Batman. Listen, the thing that sells me on Tenet is it's a Nolan film, right? But it doesn't look like the best Nolan film, or at least the best Nolan film trailer I've seen. Just to be real with you, I want to see the movie. I hope it's good. But I'm more hyped for Batman. What caused me to fall out of love with Inception? Maybe I saw it one too many times, or maybe after rewatch, some of the things that I was really invested in and bought into sort of fall apart once you stop and think about it. Inception is one of those films where it moves so quick that when you're watching it, you're completely immersed, and you don't get enough time to think about some of the things happening and break them down. Another thing that made me fall out of love with Inception is some of the logic in the movie doesn't make any sense to me. And even no matter how hard you try to break it down, it just doesn't make sense. Like when you go so many layers down in a dream, you're essentially, they said they're going to be there for like 6 months in the third level of the dream. But what the hell were they doing for 6 or 10 months in the dream? Like they go on a snowy hill, they blow up a building, they break into a safe, but they were there for 10 months. No, you weren't. You were there for like 20 minutes. What were you doing the 10 months that you were supposedly in this level of the dream? That doesn't ever get explained or played out in any way. The other thing, what was the other thing? And this is a nitpick. I'm just nitpicking right now, but essentially when they go into a dream, they hook up intravenously. They hook up, sorry, I've been talking too much for 2 hours. They hook up an IV to their arms. And then they plug it into a box and they push a button. But how are they interconnected in this dream? Like, does their blood connect in this box and mix, and does the box connect all of them? Like a router? I don't know. Let's just keep going. I don't want to... My brain is too weak right now and fragile to talk about Inception. Okay, I forgot where I was, but now I found it. Okay. Hot buttery cop porn. Hey, John, if you experience hair loss in the future, are you going to use finasteride or minoxidil? I'll probably use a toupee. I think I'm good on the hair loss. Maybe in like 5 or 10 years, I'll probably thin out a little bit more, but hair loss doesn't really run in my family, and my hairline has been the same since 2010. And I'm 33 now. So usually if you make it into your early 30s, you're pretty good to go. And there's been times where I was like, is my hairline receding? And I went back and watched older videos, and I'm like, okay, it's the same. So I think I'll be okay for a while to go. But yeah, if my hair was falling out, I'd do whatever it took to keep that shit, man. I'd put glue in my hair or something. I don't know. Jordan, should I watch Alien or Arrival on 4K tonight? By the way, I think you missed my last Streamlab. Jordan, I will search down and find it, man. Should you watch Alien or Arrival? I would probably go with Alien. Actually, I'd probably go with Aliens. That's my personal favorite. It's just the perfection of a James Cameron movie. I feel like watching Aliens right now, to be honest with you. I really do. I could watch it right now. Should we just watch Aliens for the next 3 hours? Jordan asks, favorite moment from both It movies. Trying to think of scenes from the first It film. I like the bloody bathroom in It. Also, the one scene I liked in It too, and it kind of made me laugh, is when It is like a mushy little flaccid clown balloon on the ground. He's like this. He looks like a pancake or something. That made me laugh. That one moment always it's highly enjoyable. I don't know why. Dan Peters, what TV show have you watched recently looking for a new show to binge right now? I started watching, me and Amber both started watching Kingdom on Netflix. And there's 3 seasons. It originally came out in 2014, and it's about like this family that's super fucking dysfunctional, but highly entertaining. And they're like MMA fighters, and the dad is played by Frank Grillo. And it sort of feels like, it sort of feels like it belongs in the same universe as the movie Warrior. But recommend that. That's pretty good. Mr. Drown 73. Hey, John. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Have a good day. Well, thank you, Mr. Drown, and right back at you. I'm doing well and staying safe. I do wear my mask everywhere I go. And yeah, life's going pretty good right now. Doshi asks, do you think Nolan only made his Batman films to get studios to give him a chance of making more films because it seems like nobody saw his films before Batman? Yes and no. You know, yeah, you're right. He did. That would be my conspiracy theory on it. I think Nolan said, you know what? I have to put my name out there. I have to put something that already has a built-in fan base, but I have to improve upon it and put my own touch and spin on it. And he probably looked at Batman and said, you know what? There's definitely room for improvement here. We can go a different direction. And he came up with the concept for Batman Begins. And that was the smartest choice he ever could have made. So when a director does something like that, typically, yes, I feel like it's sometimes them reaching out to get name recognition and do something that if you have a good enough idea, the studio will greenlight because they know there's a built-in fan base with name recognition. That's a possibility. Or maybe he just really wanted to make a kick-ass Batman film. But it definitely kickstarted his career to do big budget films. But then after Batman Begins, he did The Prestige, which wasn't, this huge epic, which is one of my personal favorites of his. So yeah, when it comes to Nolan films, and I was hoping he would do this after Dunkirk, I would like to see Nolan go back to something a little bit more subdued and a smaller film, less of a spectacle film, and just something a little small scale, more like The Prestige. I would like to see him return to do something like that. Okay. Good. I caught up on I always like when I catch up on the questions. Okay. There we go. Joshua Garrison, have you watched Glow on Netflix? No, I didn't watch Glow, the female wrestling series. I never got around to watching it. The next one comes from Sean Rosen. Is the face in your sign a pic of you or a drawing? That is my face, my real face, but illustrated. It's an illustrative image. So yeah, it's actually my face, but someone drew it to look illustrative. An aliens watch party would be fun. Yeah, maybe another night. I don't know if I have it in me. John, I believe you owe me a cringe, please. We'll save the cringe for later. I'm sure I've given you a few cringe moments throughout this live stream. I had to have. How long have I been yapping? Feels like I've been talking for a long time. By the way, guys, if you go to your YouTube sub box, it's just 9,000 videos about the Batman trailer. Holy shit. Oh, man. People are getting on that. Yeah, I see 38 videos of it right now. That's insane. That's a lot. So much to talk about, though. Yeah, I could make another video for the Justice League trailer alone. I could do that. All right. All right. There we go. Hang on, guys. Sorry. I'm catching up. Trying to find your questions again. They all disappeared. I'm scared. Okay. Will we ever get another Deadpool film? Probably, yeah. You just got to let Disney sort of figure out what they want to do with Deadpool. I think they already said They were going to do another Deadpool film, and they're not afraid to make it rated R. So, yeah, I think we will. Okay. What time is it where you live? It is 1:45 in the morning. And we have almost 500 people still watching this live stream. Once again, I didn't think that many people would watch this late live stream. All right, guys, I am going to answer a few more questions. And cuz I have one more gulp of this. Okay. So yeah, if you guys want to ask some really juicy questions, I'll answer a few more. And then I think I'm going to go watch Unhinged with Russell Crowe and cry myself to sleep. We love you, John. Well, I love you too. John, give me vengeance. Yeah, give me vengeance, man. The Batman voice by Pattinson is it's right. It's the Batman voice it should be. Do you think Laurie Strode will survive in Halloween Kills? Yeah, I do. To kill her off at this point would be like a detriment to the franchise. You can't have her survive this long and then kill her. But then again, maybe she could sacrifice herself to kill Michael Myers. But then again, they sort of already killed her in the one Halloween movie, didn't they? Oh well. John, have you ever wrote a screenplay? I have not wrote a screenplay. I've never written a screenplay. I've had ideas for screenplays, but just never wrote one. Because if I wrote a screenplay, I would want to invest the time to try to get it made or produced, and it's just that's a long road. Okay, I'm gonna answer just a few more questions here, guys. I'm looking for the questions. Yeah, they killed her 5 minutes into Resurrection. Yeah, you're right. By the way, watch my Halloween Resurrection movie night that I filmed a few years ago with Stuckman. We talked all about that shitty movie. Enjoy that video. It's a good one to watch every Halloween. My favorite Martin Scorsese film, probably Taxi Driver, and then Wolf of Wall Street and Casino. But also you have The Departed in there. But I think my all-time is Taxi Driver. What's in the box? Justice. Okay, what is the oldest movie you really like? Technically, The Wizard of Oz probably would be the oldest film I like. That'd probably be the oldest film I love. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Oh, Doshi asks, will you do the live stream with Stuckman? I've tried, man. I've asked. He's just not into live streams anymore. I asked. I did. I would love to, but he's just not into them. Okay. I think I answered all of the questions here. I just, once again, I don't like to miss people's questions. It makes me feel bad. We got a few more questions, and I will wrap this up. All right. Statutory Ape. Hey, John. What can short men do to get girls? I'm 5'4" and 19 years old. Probably have a better fucking username than that, first of all. And 19 years old, and all girls reject me because I'm too short. Advice. Tom Cruise is only like 5'7" and he gets chicks, but then again, he's a millionaire who does his own action scenes. I don't stand on your tippy toes, man. 5'4", I don't know. You start working out. If you can't get taller, you can get wider. Start working out and buy shoes that give you a little more height. Carry yourself with confidence, man. That's the first thing you can do. Or date a chick who's shorter than you. Batman's Gemini. In jail, I met a dude with Truman syndrome, and it was the most fascinating and just awesome conversations I've ever had with a person. Laugh out loud, jail sucks. Sounds like a good plot to a movie. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed your extended stay, and I'm glad you're out, man. Patrice Chaswick, do you think that DC should have done some more solo films and then when Endgame was all done, fill the void that people are missing with Justice League? No, I think DC was going a different route. They were kind of going backwards in a way. They were just like, well, here it is, and then we'll do spin-offs of this film. I didn't mind their logic in that, but it kind of backfired because had their solo outing of Justice League been phenomenal, then those solo movies would have worked out. But I think everything in the grand scheme of things, it's working out for DC, right? They're sort of getting a second chance to do another Justice League movie in a way and correcting the course and all of their mistakes. And it looks like their solo movies right now are kicking ass. You know, the Wonder Woman movie looks good. The Suicide Squad movie looks good. I mean, they're redoing that. I mean, they made a shit ton of money with the first Suicide Squad movie. Say what you will about the movie. It made a lot of money. And now they're going to make a better version of that, hopefully, and then make more money. And now they're making another Batman movie. I mean, they're double dipping or triple dipping, but if they keep making better movies than the previous one, then hey, that's fine by me. I'll go watch it. All right, guys. So I answered all of the questions. Don't ask any more because I don't want to miss any of the super chats or Streamlabs or any of the other questions. But hey, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching and enjoying the live stream. I think we talked for way too long, but you know what? It's late. It's Saturday. I had nothing better to do than talk to you guys, and it was a good time. And if you haven't already, go make sure you watch my reaction / trailer breakdown for the Batman trailer if you want more of my in-depth thoughts on it, even though I shared even more in-depth thoughts in this live stream. But thank you so much for watching, guys. If you can, once again, give the live stream a thumbs up. It does help. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time. Stay safe, guys. And have a good night. Yeah. Take care. Bye. And I'm trying to leave. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Bye-bye.